Hello YouTube, Joe Momo. Yeah, Joe Momo got another problem. Joe Momo's igniter went on his stove for the bake. This is what the igniter looks like, and this is the bad one. I already switched this out, but I'm going to take you through the steps. The first thing you need to know when you're ordering the part is to get your model number. This one in particular is a caloric, and the model number is Romeo Sierra Tango 310 Uniform Whiskey. Now you can find that by opening the storage compartment down underneath the stove itself, and it's on the right side. So I hope you can see it. And that's what you're looking for. And on that you'll see it'll say caloric. It'll have the model number and the serial number. Okay, that's where you start. Alright, so I'm going to pause this and then go into the next phase of this where I show you the tools that I needed to get this done so you don't have to go up and down looking for stuff. Now this is about what you need to get this done if you don't have any other issues. I use a nice short Phillips head driver, a pair of wire clippers, wire strippers, cap nuts, and I have a piece of string here that I use to hold on to the wires so they don't fall back into the chassis of the oven, because that would be something then you're pretty much mandated to take off, pull it out, and then possibly have to take off the back to retrieve them and reconnect it. The biggest question where you first start with this is, especially if it's a recessed stove, into a counter as this one is whether or not you're going to be able to get to the connectors or have enough wire to reconnect them. I was able to have enough wire, so I reconnected them with cap nuts. Again, I'm going to find out, and hopefully nothing's too close to the heat, so I'd have to say, anyone who does this, you're at your own risk on this one. I repeat, you're at your own risk. You want to give it a shot? That's up to you. But I'm going to take you through the steps and pause this and take you to the steps of what I had done. Of course, the first thing is to remove the cover that covers this. This one particular model, it recesses into these two connectors here, and then you just back it out and then lift it up. I don't think we have to go through that, but I'll show you what needs to be done. Another thing I did was, because of the heat, screws, I hit it with just a little bit of penetrating oil, slight bit, and then I allowed that oil to burn up under supervision to make sure that nothing else ignites that's not supposed to ignite. So I'm going to pause this and get the tools out of the way and then show you the process and exactly what I did here. Well, the first order of business is to take these screws out. That's where the short one comes in handy, because you can get in there nicely. And this particular one has a magnet on it, and makes it easy to get the screws out. Again, be careful, you don't want to drop any of these inside. If you drop one of these inside, you'll be hearing me. I prefer not to have that happen. 3 screws, 2 on the left, 1 on the top of this model. Yeah, that's how it's nice to have the magnet. Little things come in handy. Then you just pull it straight out. Now, as you recall from what I said before, this is in fact the replacement one. This is the one I've taken out. Then you just pull it straight out. When you get it out, here's where I tied off, just below the 2 cap nuts. I need to be careful, I don't want to lose this connection. Hopefully you can see it, what happened here. And that's what I did. Cut it, stripped it, 2 cap nuts as far back as I could get. And you see, that's why I used the string, because I took the string and I tied as tight knot as I could possibly do below that so it doesn't fall into here. I suggest you do something like that to anchor it. You don't want to lose it in here and then you'd be trying to fish it out. So that's just a particular security measure. That's about how much I had. Believe it or not, there's actually another cap nut down already in there that came from the manufacturer, so now mine has 3. I have 2 connections on one side and then one on the other. Hopefully that won't do anything in the future. As I said, with this repair, you're on your own with this. You know, you want to do it and see what happens. I'm surrendering all liability on this, but if you want to try it, it's up to you. Maybe there'll be another video of how my my oven burnt out. Let's hope not. As far as the igniter is, the shield, when you buy the part, normally it's not going to have the same connection. They make these things to handle more than one model, so you won't have the same connector. I believe Caloric and Amanda are kind of joined at the hip. They're the same company. When you get it, you get your new one. You're really just sliding it into this metal cage. It's got a stop in there that when you slide it in, it'll only go so far, and you'll know it's in the right position. Hopefully you can see this. You just slide it right off. Everyone says you need to be very careful. Try not to touch the actual igniter piece because they say it's delicate. I imagine it gets a little ashy because it seems to stay on very hot as the oven is operating. So I'm not going to touch it. The first thing I did was, once I removed the old one, was to put the cage on the new one to keep from tampering with it. After you use the cap nuts and reconnect it, I push the cap nuts down and to the right to get it as far away as I can from this hot piece here. This nice ceramic will keep everything away, and then I'll put the screws back on. I'm going to take a pause right now, and then I'll get right back to you. Okay, back again. Here we are. Going to finish this up. Okay, the shield's back on. Now we just have to put in these 3 screws. At first, with this particular model, I had a hard time getting this in here, and for a minute I thought maybe one was longer than the other. But it's just a matter of finding the right space, and then you see that, and then there it goes, and you're lined up. I started with the top one. You just got to do maybe one half turn, right, 1 turn, and then make it easy on myself and just take the top one here. And you put the top one on, it pretty much should line up the bottom one at this point because it gets a little cramped in here. Tighten down this one, hand finger tight. Make sure everything lined up, and get the bottom one in. And here's where the magnet's nice. There it is, and that's it. Easy peasy. There we go. Tighten it down. Don't get crazy. There's no need to. Again, like everything, like what's happening here, it's a little tight, and there's no reason. You shouldn't have to force this. No need for that tight. And on the top. And that's it. New igniter in there. There's the old one. I don't know. We'll touch it and see what it does. I can see, you know why it's delicate? I think because it's probably a ceramic, so you can snap it. I'm not going to snap it. I'm just going to leave it as is, but you probably can snap it. Actually, this it's shot, so let's see what happens. See, that's what it is. It's fragile. Actually, it doesn't look like it's some sort of other metal. So that's what they're talking about with that being fragile. This is garbage. And let's fire it up. That's it, firing it up. When this was defective, it would get very hot, and then it wouldn't ignite it for minutes. It wouldn't turn the gas on and ignite the gas. The new one, this shouldn't take that long. There it is. It's starting to get hot now. Hope you can see it. Move this here. and it gets almost white hot. And this will give you an idea how much time. There's a little of that oil, and see, that's it. It shouldn't take that long. This is a common problem with this type, and hopefully nothing else will go wrong. And that's it. Remember, do this at your own risk, and shut it down. And then you'll see how long it takes to shut down now. Hopefully I'm not baking my light, but this shouldn't take too long. I guess as they say, this there it is. It's off. The igniter is wired into the gas valve shutoff, so it's monitoring how much electricity is going through, and that's where it's basing its decision whether or not to turn the gas on. So when a certain amount of flow is going, this is how I believe and what I've read on it. When one talks to the other and says, yeah, I'm using the right amount of power here, and then the other says, okay, it's time to turn it on. Well, that's it. I hope that helps and save yourself some money. And if you see a video on where my Joe Momo video on oven blew up, then you know I did it wrong. Okay, but in the meantime, I think it works. All right, that's all I have on this one. Good luck out here.